It's a very breezy morning here. Taking my usual morning walk. My ever-growing friend of Arthur's Seat, and I intend to get the view from the top before the end. Noticing some people are telling me to go up several times during August, and there are a few that go up every day. It's very breezy, it's a bit cold, it's certainly not the sunshine that we had at the start, but I think I like it, certainly waking me up. And this is just some conversation, as the wind will probably batter the microphone here, around the landscape of social media, and a few tips and bits of advice about how to still try and get those reviews in. If you're one of the shows that's not doing as well on reviews, doesn't have any, would like some more, and to boost those ticket sales. I guess to briefly summarise, I've said before, it seems to me that the main platforms up here from a few years back have changed. We're now talking TikTok as where most of the activity is, followed by Instagram. I guess just from its legacy and people having built a lot of followership. Twitter, that became X, is still pretty active, but I think it's on the decline, and Facebook's a bit of a back alley. And Blue Sky, which has arrived, is growing, but growing very slowly, and I guess the jury's out on that one too about whether it'll survive or not, but it claims to be the slightly more ethical one. But I want to focus just in this video on TikTok. And what I'm noticing is there's a real mix. There's some incredible creativity and little filmettes and stuff on TikTok. Sometimes about 30 or 40 little mini bits of video all sewn together with music. And it's great to see. Now I've got on TikTok, I've got Fringe Review. We've got that on our team. It's getting really windy here, hopefully you can still hear this. It's getting very good now. Maybe in response to what I'm saying. But yeah, it's busy on TikTok, but I think if what you're looking to do is get yourself noticed in the professional field, then I think you have to get a little bit more discerning around what you're putting out on TikTok. And I think I'm noticing that where what you might call personal content is to be shared, which is great, you're sharing with your friends and your family and the great time you're having up here, and bits of news around your Edinburgh experience, I think that might be better mostly on a personal TikTok account. And certainly quite a few of our review team have got that, but they will separate off what they share on social media in terms of a new review and put that on a different account, which could be a bit inconvenient, but it can be as simple as just switching between accounts. And I think where it comes to wanting to draw the attention of reviewers, arts industry and so on, I think XYZ Theatre Company needs to have its own account compared to Paul Levy having a good time in Edinburgh. And I think it just helps to signpost people, and people who are busy, they're not ending up watching you in a party or at a quiz night or just all climbing up Arthur's Seat. What they're actually seeing now is the review quotes. They're starting to see the more important, in terms of your professional experience, the more important content. So I think it's important not to mix up having a great time. Here we are in the pub, from what the reviews are saying, some images of us at our venue, and so on. So I think it is time to get discerning. I think just in terms of just keeping an eye without getting too obsessed on the statistics, I think it becomes quite important. Now in terms of TikTok, quite often there's music in the background, and I think that needs to be also appropriate to your show. I think review quotes need to be written large. You mustn't put too much information on, and it's what are people going to take in essentially in the first hour that showcases the shining qualities of your show or your work, and makes a reviewer think, oh, that looks good, I haven't seen that. And I think the TikTok video can certainly be more dynamic and upbeat, but it also needs to have the quality of what a press release would do. In fact, I think you might call it your update press release, and it's your living press release, because you can update them every day, and as a new review comes in, you can still have the logos of your show, you can still have some of the original images, the stills, mixed with audience reviews, which is a really good thing to put on TikTok. The little quotes that people are saying, keep it authentic, keep it real, edit it well, but it's literally like a live press release with audience reaction, keeping things fresh and real time at the Edinburgh Fringe. So I think it's worth it, and I'm certainly noticing pretty much all of our review team who might not have even been on TikTok next year are pretty much aware of it now, and some are putting out their reviews through TikTok. Fringe Review certainly is. And this is no big sales pitch for social media. I guess it's just how it is at the Edinburgh Fringe, and that makes it something that you probably can't afford not to do at the Fringe. So the strategy probably is first to create, if you haven't done, a separate channel, separate account on whatever platform for your show, your theatre company, linking really easily to your website. And social media doesn't make that easy. When you're linking your biography, it makes it easier on things like TikTok. Starting to rain now. Makes it easier for you to get immediately seen, and I think immediacy is a big part of the Fringe as well. So if you haven't done, if you're here on your own, something to think about. If you're in a company, if you have PRs, and sometimes you might well find you're technologically ahead of your PR, particularly when it comes to the creation of particularly Instagram, Reels, TikTok videos and so on. This is a way, I think, that's different from email and more immediate. Doesn't mean you should abandon email with good news about your show, but it creates that dynamic immediate access. And as I'm recording this fairly early in the morning and starting to get a bit wet, I think the weather forecast said it was going to rain. Create your little update strategy meeting for what are we doing on TikTok, and just because we've got one personal account, are we squeezing professional news and work through that TikTok account, and should we actually be separating it off? There's Arthur's seat. Are you going up? Will we see you up there? Normally do it in the last week. Have a great morning.